I thought something was wrong, so I hired a detective agency to investigate. Right after my husband left the hospital, they found proof of his affair with the young nurse. He told me he was going to the hospital after work for rehab, but that wasn't true. His leg was already healed. Instead, he was going to her house. I was shocked. How could my husband have an affair with her? Do beautiful nurses have strange taste? I showed him the proof. He didn't even deny it. Yes, I'm having an affair. I'm in love with her. I'm leaving to be with her. And you need to leave, he said. Fine, do whatever you want. This is ridiculous, I said. I packed up, took my daughter, and moved back to my parents' house. My mom was furious when I told her. I knew something was off, she said. You're very sharp, Mom, I replied. After that, I divorced my husband. I hired a lawyer, demanded alimony, and my share of the property. He tried to fight about the property, but I got what I deserved. I thought I was done with him and ready to start a new life with my daughter. But soon after, I started getting calls from an unknown number. At first, I ignored them, but they kept coming. When I finally answered, I was surprised. Hello? Finally, you answered, said the voice. Who is this? I asked. I'm Rose, Tom's new wife, she said. Oh, his affair partner. What do you want? You took so much money from my husband. Why does he have to sell the house to pay you? She asked angrily. Because his salary is low, I said. That's not true. He said he works for a foreign company, she argued. No, I work for a foreign company. He doesn't, I replied. What? She exclaimed. He lied to you. My ex-husband works for a small company. He makes about half of what I earn, I explained. Rose was shocked. He told me he owned the house and had a high-paying job. The house is in both our names, but I paid the down payment. He has to pay me for my share, I said. She started to panic. Oh no, he's not handsome, he doesn't have money, and now he lied to me. There's nothing good about him. Exactly, I said. After that, my ex-husband called, furious. Apparently, Rose dumped him before they could get married. She ran off after learning the truth. He complained about the alimony, but I shut him down. If you don't like it, try earning as much as I do, I said and hung up. Now, I only see him when my daughter wants to visit. He whines every time about his problems. I heard his basketball injury caused trouble at work, and his boss dislikes him. He'll probably never get promoted. He deserves it. As for me, I'm rebuilding my life. My parents helped me raise my daughter, so I can work hard and save money for her future. We even take weekend trips together. I was worried the divorce might hurt my daughter, but she's still as happy as ever. I'll keep working hard to make sure she keeps smiling. I showed my husband the proof from the detective agency. He confessed. Daniel and I are in love. I'm leaving to be with her. You're the one who has to leave. Are you sure about that? I asked. I don't care what happens, he said firmly. My name is Amelia. I'm 37 years old and work in an office. I live with my husband, Tom, and our 5-year-old daughter, Flora. We're a close family, helping each other where the other falls short. At least, that's how it seemed. Tom is a great cook and always makes dinner for us. Since I work late, I appreciate that he handles the housework. One day, Tom hurt his leg playing basketball for the first time in years. He went with his friends on his day off and tried a risky move, which injured him. He's 32 now, not as young as he used to be. I couldn't understand why he'd do something so careless when he has a job and a child to think about. When we were dating, I liked his adventurous side, but now, it just felt irresponsible. The injury was bad enough to land him in the hospital for 2 weeks. That meant he couldn't work, and I had to handle everything at home. He wasn't even hurt playing at a proper basketball court. It was a casual sports center. His company would be shocked to hear about this. They might even fire him. I was so frustrated with him for being reckless. At the hospital, I brought him clothes and essentials. He greeted me with a cheerful, "Oh, thanks, Amelia." His upbeat attitude made me even angrier. Why wasn't he more serious about the situation? "What can I do? I didn't plan to get hurt," he said. "I'll use my paid time off, so it's fine." "It's not fine," I snapped. "You could have saved those days for something important, like Flora's kindergarten events or a family trip. Now, your coworkers have to pick up your slack, and I'm struggling to manage work and home. Do you even realize how much trouble you've caused?" He looked sorry and said, "I'm sorry." I softened a little. "Just focus on getting better," I said before leaving. At work, my boss and coworkers were kind enough to let me leave on time so I could be with Flora. I appreciated their understanding. I managed to cook dinner and spend time with my daughter, which felt nice. About a week later, I visited Tom with Flora and my mom. When we got to his hospital room, I heard him laughing with a woman. She sounded young. When we entered, we saw a pretty young nurse with him. She smiled at us, said a quick goodbye, and left. I couldn't help but feel annoyed. While I was juggling everything, he was laughing with a beautiful nurse. He noticed my glare and quickly tried to change the mood. "Thanks for coming," he said nervously. Flora ran to him happily, which saved him from my scolding. "Dad, I missed you," Flora said, hugging him tightly. She asked if his leg was okay and if he'd come home soon. He reassured her, making her smile. After the visit, my mom remarked, "That nurse seemed very friendly with Tom." I couldn't stop thinking about it. It felt off. I didn't want to believe he'd do something with her, but I couldn't shake the doubt. When Tom was finally discharged, I went to pick him up. Once again, he was chatting happily with that nurse. On the way home, he seemed bored instead of relieved to leave the hospital. It made me wonder even more what was going on.